Alright, welcome back to another league race, this time with TTML F2 for round 2 at Spain. A lot of people missing tonight, so maybe a chance to get some good points, but just heading to qualifying here is the setup I ended up running with. Just as slightly, I actually changed in session here the differential, so well, at least the ramp differential. Look, pace looked okay-ish. I actually find this to be an easier track to kind of keep hold of the car than in an F1 car, which normally isn't the case with these F2 cars. Normally it's the other way around. The F2 cars are harder to control and such, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But here, coming to the end of I'm not sure why I left so much time in here. It's coming to the end of the qualifying lap, one shot of course. Again, I just want to complete it, so it's very tentative and tame, 28.2, nearly second off the pace there at Scuba set for pole. So, but it was good enough for 5th place, so not too shabby at all. Again, I wouldn't be 5th normally, but hey, you race with who's with you and not who's not racing, so make the most of that. Anyway, here we go then. 4, 5 red lights, hold that clutch, baby, and away we go. Good start, getting a jump legend straight away, and under no pressure from any cars behind, so we're going to have a nice clean run into turn 1, nice long run down to turn 1 too, so really happy to get a really good start, not be under pressure, because that usually is the case at Spain, but it's going to settle in nicely. I don't need to force anything. I know these guys are quicker than me in front anyway, so they'll kind of just do their own thing. Just want to try and avoid penalties. I want to try and keep the car in a straight line. And I want to really avoid the transmission damage I was suffering at Bahrain, and even in practice for this, suffering in the practice session lobby as well. But just nice and smooth on the throttle. Joe is behind. He's got a second or so behind already, so a nice little gap to work with. So really happy how this race started, and kind of just get on with it and go from there. That's really going to be it for lap 1. Then on to lap 3 then. DRS is enabled. Joe 1.3, actually if timing fixes itself, it's actually 2.3 behind, so a nice little gap for myself to just kind of settle into. But eventually Joe is passed by Nino, and he is catching. So now I was able to take a nice and calm when Joe was behind and I wasn't being caught, but now that's what now with Nino, time is rapidly deteriorating. So anyways, end of lap 6, it is time for a pit stop, and I'm going to come in and put on a set of the hards, of course, and they'll go by. Nino was catching anyway, so I thought maybe he might get ahead of me eventually anyway, but in we come, and just as we come in, fantastic timing there, Scuba comes in as well. There it is. So safety car is deployed. I thought, oh shit. Very, very. If this was a VSC, it'd be great, but safety car is not good because I've lost all this time heading into the pits. I'm making a part of my stop on the racing conditions. That is time, however, the guys in front are not going to have. And what's worse is that once you come out, there is a delta we have to adhere to until we catch a safety car. So I'm stuck to this delta at this speed. They are much further along the track, and they can basically come in and do that. So anyways, delta is released once I come onto this main straight. Pit lane, you can see, is active. There is Nino. I think, can I get in front of him? I go for the dive into the corner, hoping that I'm far enough in front, even though if I miss the corner, that he might have to give this position back. Not the case, sadly. So I was just short. That's a shame. But we lost that position then, and safety car restart though, eventually, finally. Lap 10 on to lap 11. Zexer, I think in front of it, was a little slow to restart here, but I accidentally make a marginal bit of contact with Nino, and I certainly got 5 seconds. I think he got 5 seconds for that too. Anyways, away we go. Yarm is going to be on my left-hand side. Very interesting safety car restart, I have to say. Not one I was really expecting, but anyways, down we go. At the inside line with Yarm, I had to brake earlier because Nino's right there, and then Yarm had more space there with Siege a lot further in front. Bit of a tap then, I think, or maybe just lost back in for Nino. He got collected then, and he's into the barrier. So we do end up getting that spot back, but not through the way you would hope, really. But a big slap of oversteer there, and Legends then is going to try and get through on the inside then as well. So I try to leave the space, try and get on the power a bit sooner, but he's going to get through. Oh shit. Losing all sorts of places now. This is not how this race was supposed to unfold. So, but hey, plenty of opportunities still. Why did I leave this in? This is basically just me kind of just behind Blizzard is behind on mediums, so he's going to come into the fray a little bit sooner as well. Penalties are a thing here, so kind of the understeer, you can obviously, there's go Siege. Actually, that's why I left this in, because Siege goes off into that wall. How that isn't a DNF, I don't know, and how he isn't missing all of his front wing, I don't know either. But then Blizzard gets by Cyrix, I think that's his name, behind. I don't know if Blizzard's going to get through eventually. Like, Blizzard's got such a pace difference in terms of overall pace and on the tyres. So, you have to forgive me for being a little surprised that he decided not to wait and just dive bomb this corner. To be fair, it was clean, but I wasn't too impressed because that could have easily ended up in an instant. Zexon has to pit. I think he had actually contact with Siege. Because that if I hadn't seen him coming, or I'd just turned in, that could have been easily an accident. But could have just waited a bit longer. But anyways, lap 14. The rest of this feature race was actually very quiet. Nothing happened really at all. The Siege somehow was fine, and he was still lapping quickly. I'm not sure if he had wing damage or what. He should have. But he was able to pass Cyrix. But I thought, great, he's going to pull up onto the back of me and he's going to lose his spot. But 1.9, he actually never got closer than like 1.5 seconds, I believe. So I'm not sure what happened to him later on. You see the transmission again. We've run half this race, basically. Like, I don't know what the hell is the story. Like, is it just shifts, limiting the number of downshifts and upshifts? I've no idea, but anyways, we're coming to the end of the feature race then. I'm happy to have not got any track limit penalties and to keep the car in the straight line. We're going to come across the line and finish in P5. That will turn into P6 after the 5-second penalty. I think it was removed. I think. I've seen the points afterwards, and I barely touched them, as you saw, so it's not worth 5 seconds. So it should have been removed. I think it was just the one. So we should finish ahead of Siege in the actual race. But the thing is, now we're going to be on reverse grid third. So here we go then. Straight into the sprint race. 5 red lights. And away we go again. A good start. Wesker got away well initially, but then just the second phase just lost out big time. So it's going to be me. It's going to be him. It's going to be Siege. I was sticking to the left-hand side here. And just stay, keep to my line. And this is my corner to take, really. Well, I left the space anyways. So we're going to file in behind Maze, who finished in 8th then for the feature race. But again, same principles as before. Want to keep kind of straight line. Want to keep it away from the track limits. And we'll go from there. Going defensive early against Siege. And just trying to hold on to this position. So I leave. No, I didn't leave all this lap in. But big snap oversteer there. I have to try and defend this then heading into turn 4. It's contact behind. I think it's actually that was Wesker involved, I think, as well in that. But that gave me a little bit of breathing room there, so I can just kind of file in behind Maze and then try and get back within his DRS. But actually heading on to lap 3, I'm already within the second range. Caught him up big time this lap. He's going to try and break the slipstream. Putting the fastest lap of the race there before it's broken by Scuba there. But going to go for this move. Big long straight, thankfully, and running wing. 6-7 wings. So into turn 1 then. Going to get this move done. A little bit more understeer than I would have wanted heading into that corner. But hey, the lead of the race. Hey, not bad. Going to try and hold on to this as much as I can before everyone else passes me. But hey, that's what we're here to do. And it's a long race. And then, as we head through turn 3... And then see Siege there, Scuba there, Yarn there, close as well. Almost got too much onto the grass there, lost the back end. But holding on to this lead for the time being. I'm not sure why I left all this in, but anyways, later lap 3. Bada bing, bada boom, the safety car is deployed. Now, so, if I was in the pack, I would pit for mediums. As it happens, I'm in the lead of the race. I am not going to pit for mediums. So, I am not doing that. I'm going to stay out. You see people who came into the pits, so now it's up to me to restart. So now I thought, oh shit, all these guys are on mediums behind. Not good, but anyways, got Siege, got Maze behind. I thought this was a decent restart, to be fair. Not getting on the throttle as you'd expect out of the last corner, but a little bit after that, so that you kind of lulled into a little false sense there, and you just kind of go for it. So difficult to get a good safety car restart because how long the straight is. You just dip into the slipstream, but good restart there, I thought. So I'm going to keep hold of this lead, at least for the time being. But I know Siege is much quicker, and yeah, I might see him in some part of the race. Lap 8, heading on to lap 9. It is time to defend. No DRS yet, but having to defend then against Siege. Going to come back across then somewhat onto the racing line. Get a nice bit of curb into turn 1 there, so kept hold of that position, thankfully. And again, Spain is difficult to overtake. A little bit less difficult, I think, in F2 than F1, but yeah, holding on nicely then to this P1. You see Blizzard there in 4th on mediums. He's going to be a factor pretty soon. He's able to go through the pack. Not everyone got through the pack. I think Scuba wasn't able to get through the pack. He retired. Not sure what happened to him. But that was the other thing that you weigh against pitching is that phone is that, you know, sometimes that you might not get through the pack as straightforward as it seems. So even with a nice tire advantage, Blizzard then takes Siege then into turn 10. So with, you know, 9 laps just about to be completed, heading on to lap 10 there, there's nothing I can do to defend this really. So Blizzard is just going to, yeah, he's just going to have to go. I was hoping I could slip into the slipstream and maybe stay with him, but Spain can be a difficult track to keep within DRS, especially on a tyre compound difference like that. So Blizzard will go and he'll disappear into the winds. And sorry, Scuba hasn't retired yet, but he will soon. But yeah, other people are retiring then as well. The VSC now is out as well, so that doesn't really, well, yeah. Actually, it didn't really help because my restart was very poor. I left 6/10 on the table there, just under 6/10. DRS then enabled immediately, and having to go defensive to prevent Siege from going through as Blizzard goes wide there. I was hoping I could keep within DRS heading up to this line, but I wasn't able to keep within DRS. Then lap 12, see then Siege coming through. Did I cut all that? I meant to put that in. I had a really poor run heading out of turn 12. Really understeer. Sorry, out of turn 9. Really understeery. That's what got Siege such a great slipstream along into turn 10. And so this is an absolute train city behind. Blizzard is gone, as you can see. So I decided for one more lap. So one more good exit is all I had to do. But then, oh shit, that is it. Siege is going to go through. There's nothing I can do to stop this. I need to dip into his slipstream and prevent Legend from coming through as well. That's all I had to do now. So P2 is gone. That's a done deal. Unfortunate to make that mistake so late in the race, having obviously, you know, held on so long, but you know, that's just how it is sometimes. But we're going to stick tight to Siege and add DRS obviously heading down towards turn 10. So Blizzard is going to win this race. Siege is going to come second. I am going to pick up a very handy P3 in this sprint race, and I am very happy with that, all things considered, because you know, to finish where I started after everything that happened, do you know what? I'll take it. You know, I will take it. Unfortunate not to, you know, claim P2 after holding on for so long, but well, it was a fun race anyway. Sprint race is always a bit more fun, I think, than the feature. But there you go. Very happy days indeed. Good defensive driving as well at times. Again, if it was another track, Spain might be a bit more, obviously a bit tougher to overtake and the such. But there's the results. 29.8 is not a very good lap time. So, yeah, not the best lap time in the world. But hey, it was enough to stay within. Actually, it wasn't really. But anyways, there's the standings. I want to wait for these before I made this. 52 points in second, so punching well above my weight as per usual. But hey, that is how it goes sometimes. You gotta show up to the races, man. You gotta show up sometimes. Anyways, that's gonna do for round number 2 of TTML F2. That was Spain. I can't remember what's next. We'll figure it out. Whatever. Well, I don't care. Whatever's next is whatever's next. Thanks for watching, and until next time.